treatments and physical therapy to non-surgical and minimally invasive procedures to those challenging musculoskeletal surgeries, Olathe First Aids provides a compassionate, patient-focused approach to world-class orthopedic care.
Now back to Dragon football.
Oh, well.
Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. Those of you watching online, we apologize for the technical difficulties tonight, but we are up and running on the interwebs right now, for now.
The way today's been on the field and off the field.
Jeez.
It's one of a kind, huh?
Yeah. There's the kickoff. It's going to be fielded by Freeman at the 12-yard line. He's across the 20, makes one man miss, across the 25, stays on his feet, and brought down at about the 27-yard line. That's where the Dragons will take over for this drive. And, Avi, if you're the Dragons, you want to burn some clock with this drive, give some of your defensive guys a chance to catch their breath.
Yep.
Especially that defensive line and linebacking core, because they're going to have their work cut out for them tonight, trying to stop this rushing attack for Olathe East.
And that should tell you something about your offense, too, Josh. You want to get your offensive running game better, is you want to show these guys that you're the better run team.
Shotgun formation now for Rourke. Here's a snap, back to pass, as we talked about being the better running team.
They're going to screen
to Dylan Jordan. There's a block in the back, and so that's going to come back against the Dragons. Looks like they're going to flag Bentley Beck out, 6'2", 208-pound senior,
you saw
with
that,
the block in the back.
You saw that right when the side, you saw their reaction. Once they saw that, an immediate flag came out. So.
Yeah, you can't get away with that on the opposing sideline. That's it's not going to happen.
We're going to call holding is the official call. I thought it was a block in the back.
It was a block in the back.
But regardless, it's going to throw him back 10 yards, and so it'll be a 1st and 20. Well, so I thought.
Yep, it is. Or is it from the spot of the foul? Does it happen behind the line?
Not sure.
No, it's
1st and 20.
First and forever. Rourke fakes the handoff now. Austin with it across the 25, across the 30. Brought down from behind at about the 37-yard line. He's close to a first down. Almost got it all back.
Run pass option right there as he faked the handoff, and we thought it was going to be a sweep right outside with throw arc, and they ended up throwing it to Austin.
Not a good sign for the Dragons. Is Austin coming off the field favoring that shoulder. One of the Dragons' better defenders.
Yeah, not normally known for that tight end position, but we saw his name a lot last week.
He's been in replacing Peyton Steele, who's been out with some injuries this year. Brandis Evans trying to reach the ball out forward.
Line of scrimmage. He didn't get it.
No. Dragons are not controlling the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball tonight.
So 3rd and 5 now, and
go from 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 5 on a fullback give. That means you're getting destroyed at the line of scrimmage.
It all started with the 1st and 20. Cap that off. Trips left. Austin is back out there, so good to see for the Purple Dragon fans.
Work, quick pass to the inside, off the hands. Intended for Dennis Hikus. Snagged one earlier, couldn't come up with that one as it was thrown behind him, and had a lot of pepper on it.
Sets up 4th and 5 now. Definitely a punting situation here for the Dragons, and this is frustrating.
Not a good, no. And Pittsburg has to burn another timeout.
On a punt.
Personnel on a punt.
Well, that one hurts. So now you have one timeout remaining with 6 minutes left in the first half, which I'm assuming that you're going to get the ball back, and so that's kind of killer.
Maybe. We're all tied at 7, 6:09 to play, first half. Dragons set to punt this away, just had to burn their second time out of the first half.
Timeout?
Both of those for personnel issues.
Yeah.
one on the first drive of the game. This one on a punt. Dylan White back to kick. Rugby styles it upfield and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark this.
I think this should be about the 35, 36. Okay.
You're just going to keep walking until you get to
39.
All right. Not bad field position here for Olathe East. They drove it right down the field and scored a touchdown on a 2-yard touchdown run by Morrell Fountain.
And Fountain has been a workhorse tonight in the matchup.
Empty backfield now for Hunter Thomas.
Here comes Fountain.
Now Fountain in the backfield with him in the shotgun. Put another man in motion, and Fountain will get it right up the gut. Dragons stop him after gain of 5, but that ain't going to cut it.
Yeah. They'll take 5 yards every play.
Yeah. You can give us 5 yards on a halfback give up the middle, and take that all day.
And this offense is really interesting, Josh. This Olathe offense, what they do is you never know what formation they're going to end up being because they just put a man in motion every single time. And they're really mixing up between the spread and the I, and here's the I formation here.
Still use that wing back, and it goes to, there's a sure tackle at about the 46-yard line. That was Trenton Austin.
Fountain on the carry.
We're going to give him forward progress up to the 48-yard line.
Tell you what, that was...
that's generous. I mean, this line judge over here should start a charity.
Gotta credit Austin. That's a pretty good defensive tackle he had right there.
Yeah, and it happened a full yard back down the field from where the ball spotted.
And Wildcat formation here.
And it's coming near side. Across the 50 is Fountain, and he's covering the ball up this time. As Brett Weimer's trying to rip it out of there. Couldn't get it done. And it'll be a first down and 10 for the Hawks at the Dragon 46-yard line.
And there it is. 4 straight plays, Josh, that they ran a different formation every single time. So they're keeping these Dragons off guard.
But every time it's been a run between the tackles.
Yeah.
First down and 10, the Dragon 46. Fountain again with it, this time.
Nowhere to go.
In there to rip him down and make the defensive play is Aaron Woods. Coming in from his linebacker spot, plugging that gap. Sets up a second down and 10 for Olathe East. And if you're Pittsburg High, I mean, I put 9 guys in the box and put them in, make sure they get into a passing situation.
Well, and we've only seen one deep ball this whole game. Other than that, we've seen a dink and dunk kind of offense here for Olathe East.
And they line up with an empty backfield now. Here comes Fountain into the pistol.
Another man.
And now back to pass is Thomas over the top.
Got him, man.
Got him. Over the top of Brett Weimer's touchdown, Olathe East. Just as soon as we say you want to put them in a passing situation, maybe you don't. And they throw over the top, beat Weimer's deep, and the Dragons trail it now 13-7.
Hang on here, Josh. There is a penalty on the play. I assume that because of where the flag is, it looks like it's going to be a sideline warning, but not 100% sure. Okay, never mind.
I've seen more flags picked up and waved off in this game than I've seen all season.
And I'm a little confused by that.
Like, what caused you to throw the flag?
Yeah.
Did it or did it not occur?
I don't know. Well, regardless, the touchdown stands.
Yep. Dragons trail at 13-7, pending this extra point. Kick is up. There's a flag. The kick was good, pending the flag.
It's in the end zone, so not sure.
Maybe they'll wave this one off.
They're talking to an Olathe East player, so it looks like it's against the Purple Dragons. They'll probably just decline this or accept it on the kick.
Another.
So it's
personal foul They didn't identify who it was on.
No.
And it was very difficult to see anything that occurred on that play.
But now it's a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff. So that
penalties
kind of adds to it. Okay, so the PA just officially announced that it was a personal foul. And now there's one guy who still doesn't understand that, and he's out on the field, and that's Coach Nicholson. He's trying to plead and understand what happened. But now you really think about this, Josh. 3:41 on the clock. And Olathe East, I think normally they kick this thing off at the 35. It's going to be at the 50 to kick it off.
Yeah, if you're Brett Freeman, just let this go out the back of the end zone.
Yep. Now, if you are Olathe East, you could potentially sky high this thing or squib it.
Or onside it.
A lot of options here. Actually, whoa, 45-yard line.
Yeah, kicking off in Dragon territory.
Wow. This is the shortest kickoff I've ever seen. There it goes. They're just going to kick it high. This is the right move. Oh, Freeman dropped it.
And then almost like gave up on it
Yeah.
and then picked it up. Well, Dragons take over on their own 10-yard line, 12-yard line.
I think in that situation, you just let that thing bounce and go in.
Yeah, that was headed for the end zone.
So now 1st and 10, you're at your 10. You got 90 yards, about the 11. Regardless, you have 90 yards to go, and you only got one timeout.
3:35 on the clock. Dragons trailing at 14-7 here before the half. They will get the ball.
Olathe East
Olathe East will get the ball coming out of halftime. Now Rourke keeps it himself, makes a man not miss, and he's brought down at about the 15-yard line. Nice arm tackle that time by Nate Matlack.
Clock ticks now.
They're going to credit Hezekiah Newman with that tackle.
Second down and kind of.
About 7.
Yeah, second
Long
7, second
7.
and 8, yeah.
Pistol formation.
3 on the play clock.
Evans in the backfield behind Rourke. There he got the snap off just in time. Pass across the middle, caught by Brandis Evans.
Butcher.
All right, yep, Jarek Butcher. I'll get it on the third try. Brought down at the 30-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Dragons at their own 31.
Stops the clock. Let these guys catch their breath a little bit here, and then you're on a play. So now 2:30 and counting. PHS kind of taking their time. I would be a little bit careful about that.
2 wide receivers off to the near side. Rourke in the gun. Brings Jordan in motion.
He's got a
man.
man.
End around. He's got the pass. Floats it.
Underneath it. Oh.
And there's a flag again. Man, they just can't. I mean, Dylan White would have had a heck of a time coming up with that catch, but they still grabbed his jersey in the defensive backfield, and the ball way underthrown.
Well, I was about to say, if these corners and safeties turn their head around, Josh, that's an easy pick.
Yeah.
Easy pick. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how much we have to credit Dylan White for his defensive play in the first half as a wide receiver.
Yeah, and his acting. He's for sure playing it up every time he gets grabbed back there, but to his credit, they're grabbing him.
Yeah.
So that should have been an interception, and instead ends up being a pass interference, first down for the Dragons at the 46-yard line. Stops the clock with 2:19 to play first half. Rourke still in the gun, is yet to throw a good deep ball all night.
Well, here's one.
Jarek Butcher has it at the 25. Drives a man across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Now, he is a load for a defensive back to bring down out there. As he lowers the boom and drives down, the official's going to mark him out at the 12-yard line. So Dragons 1st and 10 at the Hawk 12. They have a chance to pick up a first without scoring.
And now 2:09 on the clock, and now you're PHS. Time to run your game. Run the ball here. Milk some clock.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want Olathe East to have a chance to score before the half and then start the ball with it at the start of the next half.
Right. Shotgun formation. Work back to pass. Looking over the middle. Has
There it
Dylan
is.
White. And the touchdown.
All of a sudden, the passing game turning out to work in favor here for the Dragons.
Yeah, it started out rough, but they were bailed out by a pass interference call. And cash in with the touchdown pass of 12 yards from Rourke to Dylan White. Now the kick is up.
Wrestler puts it through.
And it's good. Dragons tie it up at 14. 2:03 to play, first half. We'll step away for 30 seconds. We'll be back. You're listening to Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
203, score, 14-14.
Wait, what? It's already shaking up from running up here.
Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. Nice, cool, chilly night.
We're starting to experience that ourselves in
Yeah,
the booth now.
yeah. A little open that window. It's a whole new experience, isn't it? We're roughing it now. 2:03 to play, first half. Dragons tie it up on a 12-yard touchdown pass from Rourke to Dylan White. But Olathe East has scored on both of their last drives. One, a grinded out, time-consuming, rushing-heavy drive, and then the other one, a big pass play over the top.
And they have plenty of time.
Lots of time.
2:03 and 2 timeouts.
Coming off number 20.
But we're not seeing that weird formation that the Purple Dragons ran last time, Josh. It's
No.
back to normal.
Number 25, Cameron Byers.
There's a
Squibber.
kick. It's a short squibber. It's going to take a hop and be
Oh.
fielded and run out of bounds at the 12-yard line. You've been better off to just let that one go, young man.
Yeah, take
You'd have it at the 35 and not the 12. So Olathe East started in a little bit of a hole here, but like you said, 2 timeouts, over 2 minutes left here in the half. They got time to do something, but their passing game is a heck of a lot more effective, as we've seen when they run it out of the play action, and defenders a lot less likely to bite on that run here in this situation.
Well, and the crazy thing is Brett Weimers had cover 3 deep coverage, and he just got burnt. And
Yep.
so I
Can't let them get behind you.
that play action's selling him hard court.
High formation. They hand it off to Fountain, and Jarek Butcher right there to shut that one down.
Number 12, Noel Fountain.
You see no sweat here. They're kind of wanting to pick up their pace. I think got about 1 right there on that carry. So
Minute 40 on the clock and
Yep.
running.
might see a play action out of this one.
High formation again.
No.
There's the run to Fountain. Once again, fighting forward for yards.
And still,
Once again, the handoff to number 20.
He'll gain about 3 on the play after some help from his friends.
tell you what, I didn't even hear the whistle on that one.
Austin gets up off the bottom of the pile. He's getting up a little slow ever since going down hard on that shoulder on a reception in the first half on the offensive side of the ball. Hasn't quite been the same since.
Yeah, he'll get some extra care looking at when he comes back in at halftime. Now, huge 3rd and 6.
Hey, there's a receiver in this formation, though. 2 tight end set, 3 backs in the backfield. First man through is going to get it. And the Dragons are right there to shut that one down.
He didn't get it. An immediate
At the line.
timeout by Coach Nicholson. So now his team has a chance to get the ball with 46 seconds. That was his last timeout. So I understand the conservative play here by Olathe East, but At least one of those you got to give it a shot, fling it in the air.
Yeah, or at least, yeah. Well, Dragons, that big pass play to Jarek Butcher last drive, we'll see if Olathe's coverage has caught on to that or not. The way the receiver ran the coverage off downfield, Jarek Butcher came in off the tight end spot, faked blocking, and just kind of rolled out into an empty area of the field, wide open.
Yeah, but
so we'll see if the coverage is adjusted a little bit since then.
And I don't know if it's just the cold shoulder, but Roark has still been underthrowing that. That pass was a little bit behind Butcher as well. He had
to stop and wait on it.
So kind of got to get that arm warmed up here. Roark's got to lead his guys a little bit more. And I know throughout the season he's kind of overthrown some guys. You rather overthrow than underthrow.
Yeah. A lot less can go wrong when you overthrow. And the Dragons here got to be careful not to get that offsides penalty on the hard count. Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But offsides penalty here would give them a first down, so you don't want to do that.
And they've ran a couple hard counts many times tonight so far.
Can't see from here. I think that's Kafka or Weimer's back to receive.
Weimer's back there. Another
bad snap.
That's White. It's actually still in White back there. He ain't going to touch it, though.
And it'll be down at the 46-yard line, so really a short field for the Dragons.
35 seconds, however. But, I mean,
you can get a few plays off in 35 seconds.
Yeah, and the way these open receivers have been, you can get it on one big play.
Well, Olathe East Band has been standing down there in that end zone, seems like, for the entire first half. They are ready to go at halftime.
Kind of intrigued for the halftime.
They are ready.
Got a couple of props out there, too.
Yeah, I'm interested. This is going to be quite the production. But first, Rourke back to pass, under pressure, and he's going to go down in the backfield. No timeouts for the Dragons here.
You got to go, spike it or something.
Got to go.
Yep.
This is going to run out. They're under 20 seconds now.
Second and long.
And running. Got to wait for the receivers and everybody to get back to the line.
14. They got it.
Here we go. Rourke back to pass again. More pressure. Steps up. Going to run with it. To about the 45. Nowhere to go with it. And that's going to be the end of the half.
Yeah.
Not good-looking pass protection on either of those plays for the Dragons. But Olathe East bringing the heat, trying to force the issue, and they get it done defensively. But we're looking at a tie ball game here at the half. Pittsburg 14, Olathe East 14. We'll step away for 2 minutes, and we'll be back. You're listening to Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
GM Bank has been in the banking business since 1918. That's right. GM Bank has been serving customers like you for over 100 years. We're deeply rooted in the communities we serve with expertise in small business and agriculture. We're time-tested and people-centered. A lot has changed over the last 100 years, but as a family-owned bank, our commitment to our customers has only grown deeper. GM Bank, the best place to bank and borrow. Come see us and let us give you our best. GM-Bank.com.
Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Freddie Glenn, former NFL Pro Bowler and proud graduate of Pittsburg State University. Like you, I love staying on our greenway, but our student athletes need our support on more than just game day. That's why I'm asking you to participate in the newly created Silverback Fund. When you bid for the Silverback Fund, you help them fund scholarships for students to excel athletically and academically. For
And we welcome you back out to Olathe as the score is 14-14 at halftime, as both teams are in the locker room right now kind of getting ready and wanting to talk some things over, as a bit of a sluggish first half by both sides, and so they're wanting to clean some things up. But for right now, we have the Olathe High School marching band out there with some fun props and whatnot. We're actually just going to keep it here and kind of crank up the audio and let you guys take a listen to them as they're getting ready to start out and perform here. So we're just going to keep it here and kind of let them do their thing.
Drum major, is your band ready for its performance? You may take the field for your performance.
So, this is my one.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Olathe Orange and Blue Brigade. The band is under the director of band, Jeff Michael.
And that was the Olathe East Orange and Blue Brigade entertaining the crowd here at halftime. At the break, Pittsburg High and Olathe East knotted at 14. We'll step away for 3 minutes, and we'll be back, get you set for the second half of action here from Olathe, Kansas. You're listening to Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on the interwebs at ESPN1007.com.
After the final whistle, find the scores and results from all 37 schools in Southeast Kansas on SEK-sports.com. SEK-sports.com features football and basketball team pages with current records, results, and articles, plus linked standings from the CNC, SEK, Tri-Valley, and Three Rivers League. The online leader for Southeast Kansas high school sports information is SEK-sports.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, SEK-sports.com.
I'm Jill Como from Como Jewelry. When you come into our store, be ready to feel some love. Yes, you'll find diamonds and jewelry that sparkle like cream, but the most important part of our business isn't what's in the cases. It's who walks in our door. It's you. At Como Jewelry, our promise is this. We'll love you like nobody's business, because taking care of you is our business. So stop by to hear someone call your name. Como Jewelry in Joplin at 20th and Rangeline, and in Pittsburgh in front of the Meadowbrook Mall.
Hi, this is Dr. Mike Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick or injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. We're a skilled provider to treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Companion and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. I just stressed the names and numbers.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockard at Wilbert & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt-relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy. What does it take to have a really positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interests, by providing energy efficient green and service for Southeast call 620-231-6230. It is your choice. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Now back to Dragon football.
Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. We're at halftime of tonight's matchup between the Olathe East Hawks and the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. At the break, we're tied at 14. Olathe East will have the ball coming out of the break, and Dragons scored first on the evening. They had the ball 3 times inside the red zone in Olathe East territory, only able to score 1 time on a touchdown run by Ty Rohr.
Yep.
And but the other 2 times, a turnover on downs and a missed field goal. So the Dragons left some skin out there on the field for that one. And then they go up 7-0. Olathe East comes back, and they put together a long, grinded-out sort of drive and score on a touchdown run by Morel Fountain. And then the Dragons forced to punt on their next possession. Olathe East comes right back down, a big pass play over the top of Brett Weimers. He got beat deep down the field, and Hunter Tom was able to hook up with Ray Lewis on the play for the touchdown to give Olathe East a 14-7 lead. Then the Dragons come back with a drive of their own and push it down the field on a couple of big pass plays, capped off by a 12-yard pass from Rourke to Dylan White to tie the game at 14. Then the teams traded a couple of possessions. Dragons had a shot of it with less than a minute left to play. They had the ball at their own 46-yard line, but unable to get anything going. Got some pressure up the middle on Rourke, and weren't able to capitalize on that last possession. And we entered the break tied at 14. Both teams back on the field right now doing their warm-ups to get ready for the second half. So we'll go ahead and step away for 2 minutes. We'll come back with your second half kickoff here from Olathe, Kansas. You're listening to Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
Strong cement is something Watco Companies knows all about. And whether we're transloading steel in Houston, repairing rail cars in Pennsylvania, or hauling grain in Australia, Watco is still the same hometown transportation services provider that was started in Pittsburg, Kansas 35 years ago. The Watco team has close ties to our local communities, and would like to wish all our area high school teams safe and successful seasons. Watco Companies, customer first, safety always.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburg and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your firm deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received a top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claims. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 30 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
I'm Jill Como from Como Jewelry. When you come into our store, be ready to feel some love. Yes, you'll find diamonds and jewelry that sparkle like crazy. But the most important part of our business isn't what's in the case. It's who walks in our door. It's you. At Como Jewelry, our promise is this. We'll love you like nobody's business. Because taking care of you is our business. So stop by and hear someone call your name. Como Jewelry in Joplin at 20th and Rangeline, and in Pittsburgh in front of the Meadowbrook Mall.
Now back to Dragon football.
Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. We're getting set for the second half of action. Our cameraman Larry there giving some good footage of the heavy mist that's coming down. It's light to heavy, varying. Is that even a word? Varying?
I think it is. I'll take it.
I like the purple ghost light effect we're getting there in the background. It's not a UFO. Dragons will kick it off here to start the third quarter. Olathe East will have it. We're tied at 14. in this ball game between the 5-1 Dragons and the 2-4 Hawks. Dragons coming off a disappointing loss last week to Mill Valley and trying to bounce back here against the Hawks, but they're getting a game from Olathe East here at their home field.
Yep.
Dragons are going to need to play a better half of football here in the second half. They had their chances in the first quarter, couldn't cash in on 3 straight possessions inside the Olathe East 20-yard line. They scored 1 touchdown, but 2 possessions came up empty, and that kick goes out of bounds, and Olathe East will start with good field position at their own 35. Maybe a little discussion in the locker room, Avi, about don't field that ball if it's headed out of bounds. We saw them field 1, and it moved them all the way back to the 12-yard line when they could have been set up at the 35, and not the case that time, and Olathe East start out with good field position.
Well, and I think there was a lot of discussions all around in the locker rooms, both for the Hawks and the Purple Dragons. For the Purple Dragons, it's discipline and execution, and right now they're 0 for 2 on both of those right now, and so they're going to have to clean that thing up. And then for the Hawks, you know, this is your game now. You're in control of this ball game. You're tied 14-14, and you know you want to make them play your style of football.
Shotgun formation now for Thomas. They're runned up the gut, and Dragons give up 6-7 yards there on first down on the run up the middle. It'll set up a second down at about 4 from the 41-yard line.
You're going to see, and you're going to call Fountain's name quite a bit to end this ball game, as he is now going to be even more of a workhorse than he was in the first half.
Fountain lone back in the backfield with Thomas in the shotgun. They'll bring a man in motion to the near side. There's the snap, back to pass, bubble screen to the wide receiver. Dragons are there and get it shut down. About 3 of them had a shot, and the 4th one came in and cleaned it up.
Ray Lewis on the catch there.
Ray Lewis, Bentley Beckout came in to clean that one up. It'll set up a 3rd down and about a long 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think he gained 1, maybe half yard on that one. Now 3rd and 3, and probably expect the ground game here, Josh.
Yeah, I certainly do. See if the Dragons can come up with a stop here. Here's a quick toss. And a big hit on the outside that time by Jarek Butcher, and that's what you like to see from your big inside linebackers. He came up and shut that one down as Fountain gets up a little bit slow, limps off to the sideline. He did take a heck of a shot from Butcher that time, and he's gingerly heading towards the bench, waiting for his teammates to get out of his way.
Hold on here, Josh. We got some dirty laundry on the field.
And it's on the Dragons' side of the line of scrimmage. We'll see what this is going to be.
Dead ball foul. That's supposed to right conduct on the defense. 15 yards. Result for the first down.
A dead ball foul, personal foul after the play on the defense gives Olathe East a first down.
And
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You get them stopped
on a perfect play.
On a great play by your inside linebacker, and somebody else gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and gives them a first down on your side of the field. I mean, how many times do you have to see this stuff on film before you can get it cleaned up?
Yeah, I don't know, and the downfall to this is we don't know who the victim is.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know if they went over and gave Coach Nick a number, but they didn't. They haven't been given any numbers.
They're just going to say first down, and here we go. They're going to run the clock as well.
High formation behind Thomas in the backfield. First man through, gets it.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the dirt, and the Dragons look like they have it, unless there's a penalty on this play.
They got it.
And they do have it. Now, don't celebrate too much, boys. Don't be too happy. Get over to the sideline.
And so that was an interesting play, Josh, because Fountain was not in. He was injured on the previous play. So Malik Washington, the fullback, had the ball, and I don't even know if he touched the ball because it hit the ground immediately on the handoff.
Yeah, I didn't ever see him have it.
And so
I thought it was a play action because he never had the ball.
I didn't think I'd say this, but it turns out the penalty turned out to be a good thing for the Purple Dragons.
Shotgun formation now for Rourke. 2 wide receivers off to the near side. Dylan White, the lone one on the near side. Rourke will keep it himself, fakes the quick pass out, now hangs on to it, and he'll be dropped down after a gain of about 3 on the play. Good discipline that time by Olathe East, and Rourke just takes what they give him, and he'll push it across midfield to the Eagle, or the Hawk, 48-yard line. Gotta get my birds of prey straight. There'll be the Falcons and the,
Ravens.
Is that a bird of prey?
I don't know.
Do ravens eat live things?
Wouldn't surprise me.
They do? They do? Larry says yes. We're going with it. A raven is a bird of prey. High formation now for the Dragons. Hand off to Freeman. Gets behind a blocker. Now makes a man miss. Out close to the first down at about the 43-yard line. We'll see where they're going to mark him.
He's going to be a yard short.
Maybe a foot short.
Yeah, he's close.
Yep, they're going to move the chains. First down.
Wow, how about that?
Wow, good spot there for the Dragons.
Well, this is a good second half drive right now for them. But, you know, we saw this early in the game right at the beginning. They had a great drive installed. So, definitely.
This is a good drive. A great drive ends in points.
Yeah.
Offset eye now in the backfield behind Rourke. He'll roll. They're going to option near side. Quick pitch to the outside. Dylan Jordan has it. Cuts up inside. Makes a man miss. Out across the 35. He was down.
Yep. He was down.
And it's going to be enough for a first down. Now to about the 31-yard line. That's where the line judge is.
They're going to move him. Look at that. Back-to-back first down plays.
The Dragons move the sticks. They're running some new personnel into the game. Freeman into the game. Along with Dennis Hikus. Hikus will go wide. Dylan White, the other wide receiver, to the near side. I formation in the backfield is Evans and Freeman behind Rourke. There's the snap. And Rourke will keep it himself out across to about 30 to about the 27-yard line. They're going to give him the 26.
Give him 5, yeah. I thought he could have pitched it there to Freeman. I think that would have been a safer option instead of letting your quarterback take a beating. I figured Rourke would pitch that thing and let Freeman at least try to bounce it and get some couple more yards.
Maybe Rourke felt like he had a better chance of running through a tackle and picking up yards than pitching it back to Freeman and relying on him to make somebody miss.
Yeah.
Just took what was there.
Yeah.
High formation again for the Dragons. Brandis Evans gets the handoff right up the middle. He's got 5 yards up to about the 20-yard line.
That's going to be another first down.
And it's going to be enough for another first down for the Dragons.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that, but Josh, that wasn't a handoff. He just quickly turned and pitched it, and then Evans just tucked it in.
Yep.
So,
that's one of those reads that has to happen real quick.
Yeah.
If that in fact was a read, that first one to the fullback, you got to make that decision in less than a second. A lot of times that fullback give is a called play just to keep the defense honest. Now, 2 backs in the backfield as Rourke lines up in the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Now he'll keep it himself off the left side, still on his feet, across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. 14 is where they're going to mark him. And a nice play there on first down to pick up 6 for Rourke. Rourke more of a running back here in this drive as Dragons kind of lock in the four-wheel drive as we mentioned the mist coming down, the precipitation.
It's starting to slow down a little bit this time. It's starting to be a calm mist now, not
a mellow mist.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get in trouble with this. We just need to stop describing it.
Hey, it's a factor.
Yeah. High formation now in the backfield. Dylan Jordan, the lone tailback, or is the tailback for the Dragons. They're going to blow this one dead.
Might be a false start.
I don't know. The official was indicating towards Olathe East.
No, offsides.
Lined up in their neutral zone. I didn't see anybody jump the snap, so I keep thinking it's somebody's lined up in the neutral zone. But
so this should now be 1st and goal here for the Dragons.
A 6:54 to play in the third quarter. We're tied at 14. Dragons knocking on the door. They have it 1st down and goal at the 9-yard line of the Hawks. High formation work, keeps it now. He's going to pitch it out to Freeman. Hits the deck. Freeman gathers it up, but they're going to lose a few yards on this play. Back to about the, we'll see how far back they're going to mark this, the 13-yard line. So a loss of 4 on the play, and that's the danger of pitching it in these conditions. And that pitch came out late Freeman had a hard time handling it as he was looking to make a man miss back there, and fortunate for the Dragons are able to maintain possession. That's a dangerous play there. And they have it now 2nd down and goal at the 13-yard line. Stick with this I formation, double tight. Rourke keeps it himself up the middle across the 10 to about the 6-yard line.
Number 14 on the keeper,
And the Dragons will have it there, 3rd and goal.
Tell you what, seeing some good running by Roark here in this drive, and right there he made a defender miss right off the bat and took a hit and he kept going. So he's fighting for those extra yards. Got to give him credit, but you can kind of see it right there as he kind of feeling the pain.
Well, he's taking some licks here on this drive, but you see the Dragons being committed to that running game as well, and
what they
saying, hey, we can do some misdirection back here too and play who's got it. Shotgun formation now for Rourke. Weimers and White, the wide receivers, work back to pass, going to lob this one up back corner of the end zone. White's there, couldn't bring it in, double coverage.
Yeah.
Just kind of made the decision he was going to throw it that way. And only person who had a shot at it was Dylan White, but unable to come down with it. Now the Dragons going to settle for 3.
And I get that that's your best receiver on the field, but double coverage, no matter who you are, it's almost next to nearly impossible to catch that thing. And plus, the ground game is working so well. Why not keep going with it right there?
Trying to keep him off balance.
Yeah.
And the Dragons going to try and settle for a field goal here, but this hasn't been a field goal kind of game.
No.
High snap. Get it down. Kick is blocked.
Got to get down on it. That's a fair ball. Yeah.
And the Dragons able to cover it up. Was Brett Weimers. And the snap was high. It didn't look good from the start.
Yeah.
And the Dragon kicking game just has not been there tonight. That's the 2nd missed field goal, and you got to think that the next time around, if Coach Nick has that opportunity at the 6-yard line, that maybe we'll go for 6 instead of 3.
And you kind of talked about it earlier. This is an Olathe East team you don't want to keep in the game late in the game.
Oh yeah, it's too late for that. They're in it.
Yeah, they're.
And Dragons, that's now their 3rd trip into the red zone of Olathe East where they've come up empty.
Yeah.
And so if they don't win this ball game tonight, that's what you point at. You got to finish those drives, and the Dragons haven't gotten it done tonight.
High pass.
Dangerous pass. The quarterback took a shot from Dylan Jordan. He's about to go get some warning from the official about that.
I think they're going to tell him, hey, I don't know if it's like the NFL, but so. And now, good to see that Fountain's back in there for him. So
let's see if he's the same kind of tailback he was in the first half. They line up in a little wildcat. Here's the direct snap to Fountain, and right up the gut, almost coughed it up right there. Brought down at the 30-yard line, but not until a gain of about 7 on the play for Fountain.
Looks like he's kind of fine on that play.
Yep. Look to be doing okay there.
So now,
Dragons, between the tackles, definitely have some stuff to address, that's for sure.
Critical 3rd down here for both sides, to be honest with you.
Dragon defense needs to avoid a penalty here. There's the hit by Dylan Jordan. They're going to come up short. Now
get up,
walk away.
Go to your huddle, and that's exactly what Jarek Butcher's doing. That's the senior captain on that team, just saying, "Hey, we
go that way."
Yeah.
And now it's a punting situation for Olathe East, but hey, that's a win for them. They should have given up a touchdown there, and they come away empty. And now they're going to punt the Dragons back into their own territory here, pending this kick. Now their punts have not looked great, but special teams for the Dragons has been an area of concern all season long. Low snap once again, fielded, low kick. You're going to have an opportunity to return this one. And here's Dylan White across the 40, rounds the corner at the 45, across the 50, 40, and into, and there's a penalty against the Dragons on the block, blindside block. We'll see, 9 times out of 10, that's not called, but it looked violent.
Yeah, and I know they're trying to protect the kids, and that's technically what they're going to call a defenseless man, and took a shot.
I mean, Dragons is getting a lot of personal foul penalties tonight.
They're just going to call it a block,
in the back. Okay, well.
Same thing, but just different way, I guess.
Well, that negates a pretty good return by Dylan White, pushes the Dragons back at their own 45. Pretty good field position to start this drive, but man, it's frustrating when the last one ended the way it did.
Yeah.
Now we'll see how disciplined with that running attack the Dragons are, because Rourke took a lot of hits last time on quarterback keepers. But he's been about the best option running the football for the Dragons. Now back to pass. Steps away, throws this one deep through the hands, and there's another flag. Man, the Dragons have been getting bailed out by these defensive backs, committing penalties. As Jarek Butcher unable to come up with that catch, but penalty flag on the play. We'll see. Looks like it's going to be against one of the defensive backs for Olathe East.
Final call here. Yeah.
Well, 15 yards is actually less than Butcher would have got on the reception.
So now it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Passing it, Freeman, nowhere to go.
No. And it just hasn't been there on the outside for Freeman all night. This is a pretty fast team in pursuit here as Olathe East.
And so now it's a 2nd down, and clock continuing to grind.
Dragons here with an opportunity to take the lead once again. They'll go trips to the near side. Nice little run up the middle that time. They'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
Close 3rd down.
Rourke again carrying it, man. He's
got to be the leading rusher in this quarter.
Yeah, he's grinding it out here in the 3rd. 3rd down and 1 for the Dragons from the Olathe East 31-yard line. If you guys want to get some cocoa, you got 10 minutes. There's a handoff. Dylan Jordan with room to run. The 10 at the 5, touchdown. Nice stiff arm by Dylan Jordan. He's one of those guys that if you don't bring him down and let him get ahead of steam, he's going to be pretty hard to bring down. And the Dragons take the lead. They're on a, what looked like a 21-yard touchdown run by Dylan Jordan.
No flags on the field, nothing. Gotta like that if you're a Purple Dragon fan.
Dragons take a 20-14 lead, 2:14 to play here, 3rd quarter. Pending the extra point. Kicks have been an adventure tonight for Pittsburg High. There's a good snap, holds down, kick is up.
Looks good.
And it's good. They just need to tell themselves that the field goals are extra points. They probably just make them no problem. Dragons jump out to a 21-14 lead. We'll step away for 30 seconds. We'll be back. You're listening to Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com. Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. Dragons jump out to a 21-14 lead on a 21-yard touchdown run by Dylan White.
And
it was like stiff arms on parade there. Oh, you want one? No, you want
You get one, too.
You get one, too? Dragons set to kick this one away. Defense has been able to come up with some pretty good stops here in the third quarter. Some long offensive possessions have helped the Dragons out as well. And now defense is going to be called on once again here to protect this lead as they kick it away to the middle of the field this time. Fielded at the 15-yard line, trying to get wide. Now cutting back, running through about 5 tackles before finally being brought down at the 32-yard line.
Flag on the play.
That kickoff return by Kirkland McCormick, 5'8", 165-pound junior. And we'll see what the flag is for. It was thrown right near where the tackle was made, so I'm going to assume it was on Pittsburg High.
I think. I'm not sure the official calling here is kind of towards the back end of the play as well.
What's the over-under here? I'm saying it's on Pittsburg High.
I think it's normally on kickoff returns, it's against the return team.
Yeah, normally. You want to put $1 on this? Personal foul against the Dragons.
Good thing I didn't bet you.
Boom.
I don't
That almost cost you a taco, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, personal foul. I mean, what is, like, the 4th personal foul? We can get a bad reputation around the state here.
And if you're Coach Nicholson, that's just frustrating. You know, you can't.
Yeah, you're trying to protect the lead. You give up 15 yards after lackluster kick coverage. Now shotgun formation for Thomas. There's the handoff up towards midfield, a gain of about 2 yards. And they're going to go hurry up here, so Dragons better get ready. That was Fountain on the carry. Dragons trying to get set, see if they actually do, and wind the whistle here. Shotgun snap.
Oh, the fake pump and go.
Oh, couldn't come up with it. No flag on the play, just a drop. And it was there for Darius Bibbs.
Weimer's on the coverage.
Again, got behind him.
He fell for the bait, Josh. It was a
little
pump and go.
Yep, hitch and go. And he ended up a step behind on that one. Fortunate that Bibbs couldn't come down with the catch.
Kind of a bit of a pass behind, too. Thomas could have slowed that one out a little bit more, and he would have had his man.
Yeah, he twisted him up pretty good. So, not necessarily Bibbs' fault, but hit him in the hands, unable to bring it in. Now 3rd down and long here for Olathe East.
They're going to throw. They're
going to throw again, a screen to the middle of the field. And there's some sure tackling by the Dragons. Brings him down at the Pittsburg High 49. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 7 from that spot. And I think if you're Olathe East here, you pretty much go for this.
Well, it was an interesting. They're bringing up the punting unit.
No, they're going to punt it away.
But it was a screen play, but they had one receiver at the 50 on the right side, one receiver in the middle of the 50, and one receiver on the left of the 50.
Yep.
But the linemen weren't there at all. So,
yeah, the linemen are all downfield.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I'm not going to get that lineman downfield call too often in high school.
Good punt.
Nice high punt. White signals for the fair catch at the 19-yard line, and he'll take it. And the Dragons will take over at their own 19.
If you're the Pittsburg High, you want to do the exact same thing, Josh, the last drive.
Score.
You want to finish. You want to finish. That's the main objective here.
What we really like to do is score every time.
Might just see 1 or 2 plays here before the end of the 3rd quarter.
55 seconds and counting on the clock. Well, no, they haven't wound it yet. Dragons out in front, 21-14 over the Olathe East Hawks. High formation here behind Rourke. They'll fake the handoff to Evans. Rourke will keep it himself to the 20, and he gets popped.
What a shot. That looked like Ezekiel Newman. Man, good hit. I know number 14 ain't too happy about that one, though.
Yep, Hezekiah Newman.
Maybe one more play here before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Shotgun formation now for the Dragons, looking at a 2nd down and long. Rourke back to pass, has a man. Dylan White out across the 30 and forced out of bounds at about the 34-yard line.
First down, move the chains, and then
stops the clock with 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
The referee did motion move him, though, so as soon as that, yeah, there it goes.
And the Dragons don't have to run another play here in this quarter.
Probably won't. I should do a hurry up here. Nope, they're just going to.
Nope, they're going to let it wind down.
Yep. 12 minutes remain.
After 3, Dragons lead it. 21-14. We'll step away for 1 minute. We'll be back. You're listening to Pittsburgh High School Purple Dragon football on ESPN 100.7, streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
The leading lawn service in the area offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size, and provide a variety of other services such as leaf blowing, shrub removal, and mulch installation. S&B Lawn Care provides the best service possible from the first call to the completion of the project. Call S&B Lawn Care today at 620-308-6412.
The Drive to Zero Coalition reminds us that every life is important and invites you to join the Drive to Zero campaign. All traffic crash fatalities, that's over 100 fellow Kansans. Please do your part. Designate a sober driver and get home safely. Buckle up and eliminate distracted driving. And remember, in Kansas, you drink, you drive, you lose. Sponsored by the Kansas Department of Transportation and the Drive to Zero Coalition. Now back to Dragon football.
Xfinity, the future of Olathe.
1 quarter left to play from here in Olathe. Purple Dragons lead it 21-14. They have the ball. First down and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to the far side. Handoff to Brandis Evans, blown up, ball's out, and Olathe East has it. Brandis Evans, usually a sure-handed back, puts this one on the carpet. It was a janky-looking exchange that time, kind of a busted play, and it ended up busting them wide open, and the Dragons turn it over on the fumble. Olathe East with it in business in Dragon territory at the 32-yard line.
Josh, it kind of looked like Rourke wasn't ready for the snap. They kind of came at him, and then the line didn't move right off the bat like they normally do, so it was all delayed all around.
Not a good-looking play coming out of a break there for the Dragons. Now here's Fountain with the handoff up the middle.
Handoff to number 20,
He's
Fountain.
brought down by Ben Brenniger after a gain of about 6 on the plays. Dragon defense needs to shake off the cobwebs here. You don't have much field to give up. Just let them hang around. They've had their chances here in the second half and haven't capitalized on it. Dragons are letting Olathe East hang around in this ballgame. High formation now, toss to Fountain. And he's undercut and brought down after a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up a third down and short at about the 24-yard line of the Dragons. Defense trying to make up for a fumble on the first play of the fourth quarter. Not the way you want to begin the final frame if you're Pittsburgh High. But now defense being called on once again. They've made some big plays to finish some games this year. They need to make some plays right here.
Well, and regardless, this is 4-down territory here, Josh.
High formation, double tight. Handoff to Fountain. Nothing fancy here, right at you. Wow. And it's a big gain. First down across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. And Pittsburgh High needs to address something along that defensive line because every team in the state's looking at this right now going, well, you know how to beat these guys. You just line up and run right between the tackles. There's Fountain again, bounces it outside. 1 man to beat at the 5.
Oh, he
stretches for the end zone, and he does not have it. He's down at the 1. And they're going hurry up here at the goal line.
Why not? You got the mo.
As long as you don't fumble the snap. High formation once again with the wing back in the backfield.
Quarterback sneak. And he's in. Yeah, he's in.
Just like that. Dragons give it up on the fumble. Olathe East cashes in with the touchdown. And pending the extra point, we could have a tie ball game here with 10:19 left to play. I would like to know the percentage of schools in Kansas that have the Notre Dame fight song as their fight song.
I wonder if Notre Dame knows how many.
They get offended by about everything else.
Yeah.
The kick is up and good, and for some reason the scoreboard has Olathe East up 26-21. I think that's some wishful thinking. It's tied at 21 here with 10:19 to play, fourth quarter.
There it is.
And we'll stay right here. Not enough time for a break now. And the Dragons have, squandered some opportunities and just can't seem to get out of their own way, whether it's turning the ball over in crucial situations or committing penalty after penalty after plays are over.
Well, I know we say this saying a lot. You got to quit shooting yourselves in the foot. I don't know how many feet they have left, John.
No, their foot looks like a chunk of Swiss cheese right now.
They're running out of toes to shoot, really. I mean, this is a lot of undisciplined play, and I'm trying to figure it out because you look at the first 4 games and they didn't really do anything like that. Like they had a couple here and there, but it wasn't consistent like it is right now.
There's a lot of things to clean up here before the postseason starts. If the Dragons want to host some postseason games, you got to win these going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Or else you're taking some trips out west, and trust me, nobody wants to do that. Certainly not this guy.
Number 4, number 25.
Good thing we know a guy out west, though.
Yeah. Hopefully not that far. Dylan White fields a kick, makes a man miss at the 15s. We brought down at about the 17. And that's where the Dragons will start this drive, first down and 10. And got to have something here. I mean, there's a lot of time left on the clock, but your defense is not really demonstrated much of an ability to stop that rushing attack, so you really want to keep them off the field if you're the Dragons.
Yeah. And, we saw it in the first quarter. We saw a lot of delayed handoffs, some reverses and stuff. We haven't seen that in the second and third quarter. So I would try to go back to that script, try to get these guys off guard because they were not ready for it.
High formation in the backfield here behind Rourke. First down and 10 for the Dragons from their own 19-yard line. Dylan Jordan with the ball across the 27, getting out to across the 23 to about the 25-yard line. He finally blow it dead after his forward progress stopped. He never really went down.
Yeah, tell you what, it is tough for these Hawks to bring down Jordan. They're having a tough time bringing him down. But, I mean, if you look at the kid, I understand why. My goodness, 6'3", 215, playing running back.
Well, Dragons need some sort of spark offensively. Now, Rourke in the shotgun, flanked by Evans and Jordan. 2 wide receivers to the near side, looking to pass. Quick pass outside to Dylan White at the 35, 40, and run out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Tell you what, if the field had been a couple yards wider, he might have taken that one to the house.
And, it was a great route in general by White because it looked like he was going to keep going, Josh, but he just stopped planting his feet. Quick out route, good ball by Roark, and then a good athletic play, got the stiff arm, and got to credit that all around. That's a good play for Pittsburg High.
First down and 10 for the Dragons from their own 43-yard line. This is about the neighborhood they were in when they fumbled it last time. I don't want to awaken any demons, though. I formation here. Hand off to Jordan.
Nowhere to go.
Cuts it back, able to make chicken salad there as he gets across the 45 to about the 48-yard line.
Making something out of nothing. That's impressive right there. He got 4 or 5 on that one, so.
Tied at 21. Just over 9 minutes to play in the game.
Everybody's got all 3 timeouts.
Dragons run some personnel onto the field.
Kind of got to hurry here.
12 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah.
Break the huddle with 10. Getting down now at 5. 3 wide receivers far side. Pistol formation for Rourke. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass outside. Goes to Brett Weimers. Out across the 40, 35. And brought down at about the 32-yard line.
And so Weimers doing a good job on that play. The run pass option yet again. And Josh, you saw the speed as soon as Weimers caught that thing. He took off, and very good drive here for the Purple Dragons. They need to execute and finish this thing out.
Shotgun formation for the Dragons. 3 wide receivers off to the near side. Here's the snap. Quick pass out Austin has it at the 30, across the 25 to about the 23. And these Dragons are not fearing the contact here tonight, just trying to lower the shoulder and run over some of these defensive backs from Olathe East. And that'll pick up about 9 yards, bring up a 2nd down and 1 for the Dragons here.
Something good to see, too, is, we kind of mentioned it in the first half. Austin was a little slow to get up with his shoulder pain and everything. Looks like he's up and going pretty quick now, and so good to see him healthy. It's a big factor of that for that team.
He'll head off to the sideline. Brett Freeman back into the game for the Dragons. In the backfield with Evans, I formation behind Rourke. White, the wide receiver, off to the far side. Here's the handoff to Freeman up the middle. Nobody fooled by that one. And he'll be driven back. And they're not going to give him any sort of gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. And Weimer's not really, Freeman not really a short yardage back. He weighs about $1.00. And not going to fight through many tackles. He's going to make you miss in the open field, but not going to drive the pile for short yardage. And speaking of drive the pile, Dylan Jordan checks back into the game.
It's one guy you do want back there. I mean, you got Brandis Evans, and now you got Jordan back there, so you have a wide variety to choose from when it comes to those two.
Toss sweep to Jordan, far side.
Got some room.
Gets around the corner at the 20, 15, popped out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him out at the 17. Let's see where they mark him out. 17-yard line. Must have had 1 foot out at the 17. Looked to me like he made it to the 15, but I'm way over here. 6:54 to play in the ball game. We're tied at 21. Dragons driving. They have it 1st down and 10 at the 17-yard line of Olathe East. High formation. They'll run option far side. Rourke keeps it himself, spins off one man inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Stays in bounds. Picks up about 4 yards on the carry.
2nd and 6, and this is where it gets down to crunch time, Josh. You're at the 14-yard line, and
Olathe East on 5 possessions tonight is bent but not broken. They've allowed the Dragons into their red zone, but have come up with stops, whether they've been missed or blocked field goals or turnovers on downs. So the Dragons need to finish this drive. Back to pass. Catch is made by Weimers inside the 10. That was dangerous.
See where they put it. This is going to be an interesting spot, however.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and inches.
Move the chains. Move the chains.
Well, 1st down and goal for the Dragons from the 7-yard line.
Yeah. And so now, I think this is 4 down territory here. I know you're up or you're tied. And you want that lead.
You don't want that field goal.
Yeah.
No, I don't think a field goal does you any good here. High formation, double tight for the Dragons. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Dylan Jordan. Leans forward up to about the 5-yard line. He'll pick up 2 on the play.
It's a good tackle by Jackson Avena.
Well, that play was designed to go up the middle, and that's where Jordan took it. Didn't bounce it to the outside. We've seen him do that a couple of times. Just followed that one inside where it was supposed to go. Not much there. And Dragons have it now 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yep. 5-16 and counting. They'll come out double tight. High formation once again. Rourke keeps it himself down to about the 1-yard line.
A little bit short.
Cuts inside. All the coverage going outside, flowing out with that option play, and Rourke made the call, made the read to keep it himself. Gets it down to the 1-yard line, but now 3rd and goal at the 1 for the Dragons. Definitely 2-down territory here, Avi.
Well, when you got Jordan back there, it's understandable why that whole defense flushed over to that side to follow him, because they have yet to bring him down a couple times.
Now that toss sweep has been a big play for the Dragons to Jordan so far. Here's the snap.
Evans up the middle.
Brandis Evans right up the gut.
And he's in.
He's in for the touchdown. The Dragons take the lead, 27-21, 4.5 to play. Lots of time on the clock here if you're Olathe East.
Absolutely. But a very critical and important
you had to have that score if you're Pittsburg High, and they got it. Drove down the field and got it. We'll see how badly they needed one of those from earlier. They weren't able to get. And a big extra point here
Number 20 to attempt the point after.
by Bressler. High snap again, get the hold down, the kick is up.
You got it. Yes,
And it's
you did.
good. Bressler nails it, Dragons lead it 28-21. It's still a close affair here in Olathe. We'll step away for 30 seconds and we'll be back. You're listening to Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
Jones Food Service Incorporated wishes the best of luck to all area athletic teams this season. It has been their pleasure to provide great quality food products to area schools, colleges, and universities in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Brown's Food Service is proud to be a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business with over 80 years of service to their customers, employees, families, and community. Good luck to all.
Welcome back to Olathe, Kansas. Dragons lead at 28-21 after a 1-yard touchdown run by Brandis Evans on a nice-looking drive by the Dragons as they took it about 80 yards there to take the lead. Wound about 6 minutes off the clock here in the fourth quarter. And now the defense going to be expected to protect that lead. Olathe East marched it down on their last possession and scored to tie the ball game. Dragons take the lead back, but now they need a stop. 4.5 to play. As Bressler sled to kick this one away. He's had one go out of bounds on him tonight.
One should have went out of bounds.
Yeah, and then Olathe East had a nice return on their last possession, really set them up.
Whoa. Yeah.
Fielded by an up back, and there's going to be a penalty flag on that. The Dragons keep committing penalties. And I don't know what they're going to call. That wasn't a face mask. Was it a
horse collar?
Wasn't a horse collar.
I mean,
a clothesline? I don't know what do you call that.
I mean, I understand it's a high hit.
There was no face mask at all. They're calling a face mask. He had a hold of his jersey in the front, had him by the pads. That is a horrible call.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe from the backside, the way he whipped around like that might have led you to believe that there was a face mask. But you can't make a penalty call with your imagination. You have to actually see it happen and throw the flag.
Yeah, that's
not, oh, I was behind him and he whipped around in a fashion that might suggest that's not a penalty. Here's a direct snap to the back. Fountain with it. Drug down after a gain of about 3 yards, and we're off and running here on this final possession. Clock ticking, under 4:15 to play in the ball game. Dragon defense, man, you make a play and you can't get out of your own way, I guess, and the official calls a face mask on a play that was just a hit. It wasn't a face mask. And it sets up Olathe East with a second down and 7 at their own 48. So great field position to start this drive. Now they're back to pass. Dragons
deep
in coverage this time. And that one incomplete. Intended once again for Darius Bibbs, and he laid out for it, unable to haul it in. Dylan Jordan on the coverage there, covering him coming out of the backfield.
And Jordan got burnt there, but it was a good makeup defensive play by Jordan.
Yeah, he was able to gain back the ground that he lost. But, yeah, that was close.
And the most important thing, Josh, is he laid his hands off. He was battling with them for a little bit, then he laid off because he knew there would have been a penalty if he would have kept fighting them.
Shotgun formation now for the Hawks. Third down and about 7. A big play for them. Back to pass. Here's the screen coming back the other way. Looked like a block in the back. Nothing called. Brought down at midfield.
It's going to be short.
And it's going to bring up a fourth down. You know they're going for it here.
Yeah.
Because that one went to Bibbs again on the wide receiver screen to the far side. A little bubble screen.
Yeah, actually, Josh, they're bringing up the punting
unit. There is no way you punt this football here.
You got 3 timeouts, but...
There is no way you punt this football here.
Well, watch the fake, stay disciplined, don't jump off sides. A lot of things can go here. Bringing in a late man, too.
Well, running somebody in off the sideline here. And
looks like they're going to run this thing. They're going to punt it away.
Wow.
Great punt, though.
Here, the Dragons, you just let that thing roll around. Who cares?
6
6-yard line. And that's where the Dragons will have it, first down and 10, but they have an opportunity to run some clock here. Granted, Olathe East has 3 timeouts, and the Dragons have committed some fumbles tonight.
Well, but if you're Coach Jesse Owen for Olathe East, that's just a lot of faith in your defense.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. But the way this offense has been clicking for PHS, I've got to agree with you. I would go for it in that situation because, you don't get the first down. It's PHS gets the ball about the 40, the 46-yard line, whatever.
Dylan Jordan in the backfield at tailback for the Dragons behind Brandis Evans. I formation behind Rourke. Here's the snap. Hand off to Jordan. Across the 10, across the 15 to about the 18-yard line.
Got about 9.
Got 9 yards on that first down carry. And
they don't call their timeout.
They don't call the timeout. You're going to wind the clock. So this is a lot of faith, you're right, in the defense saying, hey, let's get a stop. We're going to hang on to our timeouts. Because there's under 2:40, and it's ticking right now.
Crunch time. And from what I think they're assuming that they're going to get the first down here, so then you start using your timeouts after this first down.
Maybe. High formation, double tight. Jordan lone back in the backfield. Handoff goes to Brandis Evans straight ahead. And he has enough for the first out to almost to the 20-yard line.
Yep, so here we go.
No.
As soon as they move it.
No timeout yet.
Clock starts. Okay, so now.
No timeout yet.
Now you will start to see those timeouts. So
I couldn't let them run one more play before they start calling timeouts. Yeah. And I think that's what he's walking over to the official saying, like, when this whistle blows, if it's in bounds, we're calling a timeout.
Yeah. And here the Dragons let this thing go down to 1 on the play clock.
Well, they're on their way. It's 4 right now. They just now got to the line. I formation in the backfield behind Rourke. Here's a snap. Handoff ahead to Dylan Jordan. Falls forward across the 20 to about the 22. And there's your first timeout from the Hawks. I don't punt that football.
Yeah, I
don't
agree
punt
with
that
you.
football. I mean, if I'm them, the way they're running it, the pass plays have been close or there. I don't give the ball back to the other team.
Yeah.
Again,
the 2-4 record, just let them have at it. Give it a shot.
I mean, maybe that's the Madden player in me that you just go for that. I mean, but come on. From what we've seen here in this fourth quarter, on the last 2 drives by each team, you do not punt that football.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know.
Well, we can look back on that one, and it'll either be brilliant or it'll cost them the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dragons looking at a 2nd down and 7 right now from the 22-yard line. Clock stopped with 1:50 left to play. 2 timeouts left for Olathe East. Pittsburg High has all 3 of theirs. I'd be real surprised to see them burn one unless it's to get proper personnel out there for a 3rd down or something.
Yeah.
Second down and 7 at the 23-yard line. High formation, 2 wide receivers to the near side for the Dragons.
Fake toss, reverse.
Fake toss, reverse. Beck out with it across the 25, across the 30, 35, and run out of bounds. Run out of bounds.
So you do get the first down, but the clock is stopped.
Stops the clock with 1:43 to play. Dragons on top, 28-21, trying to hang on for this victory over this scrappy Olathe East squad. Olathe East coming into the game tonight, 2-4 on the season, but you wouldn't guess it from the way they've played here tonight. Dragons coming in at 5-1, and they've had their troubles tonight. They've made their mistakes, but
in the end, they got the lead.
Well, they have the lead right now.
Yeah.
They've done good enough to have the lead at this point in the game. High formation, double tight. Hand off to Jordan up the middle, protecting the football. Goes down at about the 37-yard line, 38 maybe.
Another timeout.
Timeout of Olathe East, and of course, 1 left for them. They'll stop it with 1:38 to play. Yep, I don't pump the football. I mean, I don't get paid the big bucks. I'm not a coach, I'm not an offensive genius. But I know that when there's only that much time left on the clock, you don't punt the ball back to a team that just marched down the field and scored on you.
I would act like it's a playoff game, Josh. You know, this is your home field. You're down 7 points with 2 minutes on the clock, and
against a 5-1 team.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. Yeah. I question the obviously I question the wisdom of that call.
But again, that's just Coach Owen believing in that defense, and
I don't know if I've ever believed in the defense that much in my life that I would punt that ball away in that situation. But that's just me. Just me.
So here we go.
I'm a riverboat gambler with somebody else's money. High formation. Here's the pitch. Dylan Jordan looking for a gap now.
To the outside.
Tries to turn it to the outside. Runs through an arm tackle across the 45. Has a first down.
I think he got it, yeah.
To amount the 47-yard line. And that's a big one for the Dragons as Jordan, man, they look like they had him bottled up a couple times. Able to bust through some some arm tackles out there on the edge. And that moves the sticks.
And this should just about do it. Now the clock will tick. And
Olathe not calling a timeout here.
I don't think they are. I think they're just trying to. Now it's just a strip game. You want to try to get that ball out. That's the best thing you can do. Yeah, no, actually, PHS is just going to take a knee and get out of here.
I think the Dragons can just kneel down on it.
That's exactly what they're doing. Yep. And now they burn their timeout.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Well, you know, that makes as much sense as punting the ball back to the Dragons with 2 minutes on the clock.
So that puts it at a 2nd and 11. And all you got to do is just protect the ball. That's all PHS has to do right here, and this game's over.
Yep. It's all over but the crying and the bus ride.
Or it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, they won't be crying on the bus. Dragons look to improve to 6-1 on the season. Olathe East, barring some sort of football chicanery, should fall to 2-5 on the season.
And PHS will come on home for senior night as they travel or come back to play DeSoto. And then I do believe Olathe East will play West High School next Friday.
Oh.
They played North earlier this season.
Is that Olathe West High School?
It just says West on Max Preps, so I don't know.
West of where?
Somewhere in Kansas.
Okay. Victory formation again for the Dragons. Work under center. There's the kneel down. Clock winds, 58 seconds and ticking. And Olathe East cannot stop the clock.
Nope.
They wind the play clock. There's a 20-second difference here, so one more kneel down, and this one will be over for the Dragons. It was a touch-and-go effort here tonight.
Yeah.
In Olathe, the Dragons could have put 56 points up on the board here in this ball game, but instead come away with 28.
I am wrong. Excuse me. They will play Olathe South
Aha.
next week. So battle of the Olathes.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're done here, Josh.
Yep, this one's in the books. Purple Dragons come out on top tonight, 28-21 over the Olathe East Hawks. Dragons improved to 6-1. Olathe falls to 2-5 on the season. And they will, Dragons, as Avi mentioned, will come home next week to Hutch Field to host DeSoto. And Olathe East will play Olathe South, probably right here in this stadium. I think a lot of the Olathe teams use this facility. It's a nice one. But the Dragons come out here tonight with a tough road win. And, Avi, a lot of missed opportunities in the red zone here tonight for the Dragons. Some plays just were not sharp. So, they got some stuff to work on this week in practice, but they won the game.
Yep.
When it came right down to it, they made the plays when they needed to make them. And they come out here tonight on top of a tough squad playing at home in front of their home crowd. And Olathe East, these kids don't have anything to hang their heads about in this game. They came out and played hard, and a couple things had gone their way. They probably would have come out here with a win tonight, but Dragons able to escape with a 28-21 victory, and they'll head home next week, face DeSoto to wind it out for the regular season. Then we'll start thinking about playoffs.
Time of the
playoffs.
Year. that time of the year.
Yep.
And, you know, like you said, Josh, this was a good learning curve for this team because it was a struggling game. Last game, you know, they're trying to shake off the woes. And so, you know, if you're Coach Nicholson and company, enjoy this one tonight. You know, get some rest tomorrow. Then after that, Sunday, it's back to work.
Yeah. And you saw some of the frustrations that happened here tonight.
Yes.
Were some of the same frustrations that happened last week against Mill Valley.
Absolutely.
The difference is, well, first off, the level of skill of the opponent. I think Mill Valley a better team than Olathe East. But the Dragons able to weather those mistakes, weather those miscues, come back and do what it took to come out of here with a win tonight. And, you know, Coach Nick, I don't expect him to make it all the way up here to the press box, talk to us tonight, but he's got to be happy with the way his squad overcame some adversity tonight and able to get out of here with a hard-fought win. Yeah,
you got to be impressed if you're the Dragons as they came in here. And, again, I think they kind of lollygagged a little bit around at the beginning there. Thought they can get this win early, but this team kept fighting with them. And then in the end, it was the better team got the win, and that was just the more athletic plays, the more plays getting it done. And that's what Pittsburg High did. And then, you know, for this Olathe East team, again, you cannot hang your head. They have played tough teams all season long, and they fell short. I mean, that's just what it is, and you got to put your helmet on, and you got to play again next week.
Yeah, some of these teams up here in the Kansas City area, you play in that East Kansas League. It's a tough league, and you know, you come out of this league with a winning record, you're a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
And you come out of this league with a 500 record, you're a pretty good football team. So Pittsburg High did what they had to do tonight. They come out here with the win. 28-21 over Olathe East. We'll step away for 2 minutes. We'll be back, put a bow on this thing, and get ready for next week where Pittsburg High will host DeSoto. We're listening to Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
People feel like they're not in a doctor's office as much of it as a place of healing. And that's what we're really striving for. From medical treatments and physical therapy to non-surgical and minimally invasive procedures to the most challenging musculoskeletal surgeries, Ortho First Aids provides a compassionate, patient-focused approach to world-class orthopedic care.
What does it take to have a truly positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interests, by providing top-quality, energy-efficient green equipment and service for Southeast Kansas homeowners. Vogel Heating and Cooling is a Ring Factory authorized dealer and has been serving the area for over 20 years. Turn to the experts. Turn to Vogel Heating and Cooling.
CDL has so many services to keep you safe in your home and business, like security and camera systems with 24/7 monitoring and the ability to control them with your phone or computer, or personal monitoring systems to get your loved ones help when they need it, and generators to keep things running when severe weather happens. And when you add our solar, electric, plumbing, and heating and air professionals, CDL is the choice to keep you safe. We're CDL, one company, so many solutions.
The human eye blinks about 17,000 times a day, but here's a real eye-opener. Dry eyes can cause irritation, red eyes, and blurred vision. Don't assume your blurry vision means you need new glasses or contacts. The doctors at Canar Eye Care are experienced in diagnosing and treating dry eyes with the newest treatments available. So schedule your eye exam in Pittsburg or Girard with Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Now back to Dragon football.
Crowds thinning out here in Olathe, Kansas. Purple Dragons come out on top tonight, 28-21 over the Olathe East Hawks, and the Dragons will host DeSoto next week at Hutch Field. And Avi, it wasn't pretty, but the Dragons able to come out with the win and get things moving in the right direction. And we talked about how they need to finish strong down the stretch of this season if they want to host some playoff games this year, and one more chance to log a regular season win and set things up for the postseason. So a big game next Friday night at Hutch Field.
Yeah, and, you know, Josh, the most important thing is a win's a win. It could be the most prettiest game you play. Yep. It could be the sloppiest game you can play, or in between. But a win's a win. And then another thing is...
This one was somewhere in between.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
in that gray area.
But the main thing is is could this team finish the game in the fourth quarter? That was the big test. It was tied at 21. Could they get the job done? And they won. They won on the offensive side. They won on the defensive side, and they finished this thing out, and they got the victory. So for Coach Nicholson, yeah, you might have played a couple sloppy quarters, maybe in a couple sloppy plays, but in the end, your team bucked up when they needed to, and they got the victory. And so,
yeah, and if you're the coaching staff, then you go back and say, hey, guys, look what we can do when we're focused, when our head's in the game.
Absolutely.
We can get things done, but then also look what happens when we kind of take our foot off the gas and our head isn't quite in the game. Bad things can happen, and we saw some times where the Dragons should have had this game by the throat and allowed Olathe East to hang around. It was much more of a game than it should have been, as much as the Dragons moved the ball up and down the field. But in the end, able to make the plays that they needed to win the ball game. And you're right, Avi, looking back on this one in 30 years, who knows? You know, it doesn't seem as close. It's a win. It's a win. And the Dragons lodge another one. They're 6-1 on the season, and they'll host DeSoto next week at Hutch Field for senior night. A lot of seniors on this team. They've played a heck of a year this year. Some big wins, including one over Blue Valley North, the defending 6A state champion. So they want to keep that momentum rolling. And if you're a football fan down in Southeast Kansas, that'd be a good game to come watch at Hutch Field. So for Avi Sharma, for Aaron Kapaska back in the studio, for Larry Fleury on the camera tonight. Nice work, Larry. We're going to wish you all a good night from here in Olathe. You've been listening to Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon Football on ESPN 100.7 and streaming live on ESPN 1007.com.